He is super competitive, but kind about it.
I'm gonna be the best hockey player.
His biggest message every day is just enjoy it, have fun. It was never any extra pressure put on me to perform.
Smile and don't ruin a good thing.
They said it in the broadcast all the time during the state tournament. He was a man amongst boys.
One of the kids asked him what his goal was, and he said he wanted to be a professional hockey player. A lot of kids say those types of things, but it's what he said next. He said, and the only reason I'm not going to be there is if I'm not good enough. Nothing else is going to get in my way.
Just to hearing him getting brought up quite a bit, it was kind of like, oh man, he actually might go somewhere with this.
These guys have taken that opportunity and ran with it before you, and now it's up to you if you want it. It's there for the taking. That's a childhood dream that you think about, and it starts at a young age, skating on the outdoor rinks and ponds in Minnesota.
You want to put together your best game
For sure.
at the right time. That was it. Nobody would have beat us that night.
Hard work pays off for any team, that's all it is.
He never quits when it comes to sports, take care of his family.
He worked hard for all of his accomplishments.
It's not easy all the time. It's not always glory. There's some down moments where you need some help.
I say it's a fantasy. It's every dad's dream.
It's no longer a dream, it happened.
Prototypical suburban city, about 15-20 minutes north St. Paul, on the St. Paul side of the Mississippi River.
Quiet suburb of St. Paul.
Lakes, great park system, great bike trail system, 10 minutes from each downtown. So it's perfect for that.
It's a quiet suburban Minnesota town.
Childhood in Arden Hills was playing outside all the time with friends and family if they came over too.
Actually, when we came to this house, Patty came in with the realtor, and some of the neighborhood kids were out next door. I did a kid survey. So it was like 3 here, 1 here, 2 over here. So that was a factor for us. And we didn't know the cul-de-sac was going to be the big factor, but it actually ended up being a great factor.
We moved into the neighborhood when I was 3 or 4 years old and hit the perfect timing where there was just tons of kids around, and we would just hang in the cul-de-sac or play outside in the backyard, tons of yard games, and I think we had maybe 20 or 30 kids all around the same age, so it was just perfect timing to grow up there as a child, and always knew there was something to do after school or in the summer days.
Baseball, hockey, football.
Baseball or roller hockey, capture the flag.
Practicing fly ball catching, tennis balls off the tennis racket.
Cops and robbers at night, all the fun games, dodgeball.
Whatever we wanted to do pretty much, as long as we weren't getting in trouble, so I think so.
They just played here all day long, from one sport to the next to the next.
Then lunchtime would roll around, you'd bring out, some sandwiches, lemonade, Kool-Aid, whatever it was. You guys got to take a break. Oh, but Ryan didn't want to take a break. He wanted to keep playing. Oh, come on, we got to finish.
It was just the perfect playground.
It was a blast and definitely helped shape the competitive nature for me and just the enjoyment of playing and being active and being on a team with one another.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Mom. I'm going to be the best hockey player. Well, there goes Colin. I have to go to school a little bit.
Now, Ryan, do you like to play hockey?
Yeah. It's my favorite sport. And I have to go, because we have to go get a hockey team and kill the Gophers, or whatever team we're going to play and read.
Why don't you turn around and show me the name on the back of your shirt?
How many kings?
Let's see. Turn around. You're number 5. And this is Ryan's first year of hockey.
And
it's
I like
March.
it. I like it really a lot.
We had him try a lot of different sports when they were younger. He was pretty active. He tried gymnastics and, did try the chess club and, did Lego League. And so it wasn't always sports. There was different academic, school-related things.
He would play video games. The kids would buy them. They'd come over here and sit down in this corner here and play. And after a little bit, they'd give it to him. And within an hour or two, he'd beat most games.
Ryan was an all-star video game guy. A couple video games we'd play, like, I would tell him what to do, but I couldn't operate it. Wasn't good at making it happen, so Ryan always made it happen. I'd figure it out, he would do it on the controller.
We also had close family around, my grandparents and uncles and aunts that lived in the area, so we always made time to see them and spend time with them and have family meals together and kind of share those moments together as well. So we definitely didn't miss out on family time, that's for sure.
Ryan's kind-hearted. He actually cares about everything going around and special things like that. He always took care of his brothers, watching over them, not protecting them in fights, but if he got something, he made sure they would get something. He is super competitive, but kind about it. He was competitive in school for grades. He was competitive in the neighborhood. He's competitive against his older brother. He's kind to his younger brother, didn't tease him too much. Just tweaked him enough to get a couple mom and dad yells out of him, but otherwise surprisingly kind-hearted, but very competitive, but he's very calm and stuff like that.
Wait, let's get Rai giving you a kiss.
You kiss the dad, Rai? Here, Rai. Give me a kiss her. Oh.
Mommy? Mama?
We are at Roseville Fire Station 1. It has been a little updated since you were on the staff still, and when I was coming here as a young kid, and yeah, ever since I was born, you were a volunteer firefighter, and have fond memories of coming up here for Christmas parties with all your firefighter teammates and their kids, and it was just Santa Claus would come, we'd get each kid would get a gift. We were up here probably every couple of weeks, if not more, visiting and swinging by. And
so this might be the only room that has something left of me in it.
Sean, how many did you do?
24 and a half, just short of 25.
Sean McDonagh, 23 years of service.
Let's not get credit for the rookie year.
They were out fighting fires or sleeping away from home that night. We were kind of all going through it together. So as you grew older, you realized the special relationships you had with that and the importance of a tight-knit community there. I think this picture is in
I was on there.
Yeah, in our basement. That's what I remember.
So this is Williams Pipeline where they fill petroleum. This is the first attack engine in. He was here. My crew, I was actually the captain of the truck, was over here, and we were spraying water on additives with flames about 100 feet in the air. My first call was a Williams Pipeline, and my last call was a Williams Pipeline. But that was my first and last call.
I'm Ryan McDonagh. My dad, Sean, firefighter.
I was here for a while.
Yeah,
nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
Pat, nice meeting you guys. Yeah.
We had fond memories of coming up here and as little kids running around, just I'm sure like you guys have with your families and stuff. So it's pretty impressive what you guys do. Thank you so much. So.
All of us wives put on a carnival that was in conjunction with their booyah.
Booyah.
The firefighters would be doing their fundraiser.
It was always during football season, right when the fall was starting to turn into winter.
Where they'd start cooking up this big booyah, which is several cuts of meat and fresh veggies and the broth.
The whole fire station families would be, have different stations cutting up vegetables and making the big pots of beef booyah.
When it was ready, then that would be sold to the public as a fundraiser.
The next day they'd start to sell it. It'd be a Vikings football game day, and probably by noon everything was sold out. The line was just out the door, and people were just buying it because it was a special time of the year in the community. And like I said, it was one of those special events that everybody looked forward to every year. In the spring, was it the carnivals that you guys would have with the families?
Us wives would put on a carnival. Getting all the prizes, and then we'd always have all the usual carnival games for not only for our kids, which kept them busy, along with the public that showed up for the fundraiser.
Said we were 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. It's just another Sunday night. Dad's leaving after dinner to go spend a night at the station.
The guys would be on watch, so they'd be sleeping at the fire station, and we might, those wives of the firefighters would come up and maybe share a meal with the firefighters while they're on watch. That meant they stayed the night there. So I'd be home with the kids alone and have the bed to myself every Sunday night.
We were all kind of in the same boat, caring and supporting our dads and moms.
Oh yeah, there's a couple times that you knew you were in trouble.
What was the one you jumped off the roof?
I was at a mutual aid call, and I was on a condo house, was on fire, and we were on a flat top garage in front of it, and I was on the attack line. We were gonna go defensive. The policy is, the procedure is you mask up. Well, we weren't masked up, put on our air mask. So we kneeled down on a flat top garage, and I was right about here, and I wasn't the captain at the time, and the captain yelled, "Run." And I just took off running to the edge, because that's where it's safer, and the garage collapsed into a fully involved garage fire. We didn't know it was on fire.
As you got older, he'd share, you know, certain fire calls he'd have at times and different house calls he'd have for, you know, having to help people. But at the time, you didn't realize it. But sure enough, now as you got older, you understand the sacrifice that he was making, you know, for our family, trying to provide for us, but also provide safety and help for people that he didn't know in the community and families that needed help. And
my most favorite call was a car rolled over with a pregnant lady in it. We had an EMT nurse on our crew, and she was great. And we covered her with a blanket as the car was on the side. She put an IV into this lady that was pregnant 8 months. We cut her out of the car safely. The baby was delivered, and the grandmother sent us a thank you card. So remember most calls. You can't remember them all. So it was pretty intense. Yeah, it gets in your blood, yeah. So you can remember most of them. But there's good ones, there's bad ones too, so that are tragic ones.
It was amazing that he was, you know, able to go fight fires 1, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., making calls all night. And
it's funny, Patty, my wife would be sleeping. If it was a call, just a normal call, like wires down, she never woke up or said anything. But if they said Roseville fire at such and such address, she would say, be careful. She'd wake up on those ones. And then when I came home, she said, what was it? And then she'd go back to sleep. And anybody got hurt. So never woke up on an average alarm call, but if they said fire, then she'd wake up. I don't know how she did it, but you never think about them worrying at home. Because a call can be 10 minutes or it can be 10 hours.
Right, and then show up and be the same dad that we always are used to having. So take that to heart for sure, as far as, you know, waking up and being the best version of myself every day, no matter what you're going through.
I like to be involved. Be involved in stuff like that with the community. It's just like when all 3 boys were in sports, my attitude was always, you can't complain about anything if you're not involved.
Different level, but a locker room mentality kind of.
Yeah, I mean, you're walking into a building, you need the guy to your left to be watching over your shoulder and stuff, and it's that same mentality you got to bring. The teamwork it takes, the practice, you worked your way all the way up to be rescue team captain, you know, your last handful of years. So it's no coincidence that I get a lot of my leadership skills and teamwork skills and from you know, the fire department and all the relationships you have with your old firefighters here.
You miss it. I'm 11 years, 12 years retired now, and I still miss it every day.
Do you really?
Hell yeah. When Ryan said a team, it's a team. It is great fun. I mean, you're sitting here at a business meeting and then all of a sudden you're running out the door and cutting a family member out of a car, or going up a 100-foot ladder, or going in a basement on fire. But yeah, it's something that gets in your blood. It's addicting. It's a rush at sometimes. It's traumatic at other times. There's a couple stories that you really don't want to bring up just because of how it affected people.
And then once he retired, I think, you know, that kind of opened up a little bit of a hole for our social. But that opened up more for sports, him being more involved in the sports.
Realizing, you know, how much sacrifice and work they put in to, you know, get us the opportunity to go to high school and play all the sports and do activities and do family trips and travel and all the things that come with you know, a growing family. You're playing baseball and all of a sudden, you know, he's wearing his pager and he gets a call and he's like, all right, sorry, Mom, you got the kids now, and you just drop everything and leave to go help somebody he doesn't even know, you know, and you can't really put into words. Both him and my mom, you know, providing all of us boys with, you know, any opportunity that we wanted to do or try in this world. And like I said, the sacrifice that they made, providing food for us and driving us to different sporting events and traveling around the world for different sporting events. It's incredible, especially now as a father with kids of my own. You want to try to provide that same opportunity for them like they did for me.
Hi, Colin.
Hi.
What's your name?
I'm Colin McDonagh.
Colin McDonagh. Where do you live? In what city?
In Mobile.
Where does your dad work?
Mobile golf course.
Oh, turn around and look at us and tell us that.
That was at Mobile golf course.
Your dad works there?
Hey, Mom! Mom!
Yes.
Take a picture of your eye.
I got the camera, okay.
This has been my employer, the city of Roseville, since 1985. The kids have only known me working here since they were born, the entire time.
Yeah, I think this is where we've got our understanding and definition of work or employment and job, and we kind of got some of that responsibility here at the course, right? Some of our first jobs were here, I like to say. We'd be finishing baseball practice or hockey practice, and he'd have to buzz around, turn the sprinklers on, and Colin and I would, probably be chipping or putting, running around the course for half an hour or so. And my dad obviously took so much pride in trying to keep this place, spick and span.
They joined the golf league at another course that was where by our neighborhood that all the kids played at, and they'd play there, and then from there they'd go to sometimes skate, and then from skate to baseball. So it was 3 sports days some days in the summer, never during school that we'd allow something like that, but the school we let them play organized sports.
He was the fun coach for sure. It was kind of a good cop, bad cop, and he was the good cop looking back on it. He always wanted to be in charge of the pom-pom pull away or the asteroids, the fun games that you remember as a kid that would get you coming back to play hockey every time. And he always said, positive energy, work hard but have fun, do everything with a smile on your face. And it was a great message for us as young kids to hear. And there was nothing ever forced on us, but always a fun atmosphere at the rink and at the ball field and all the teams that he coached.
My squirt coach and pee-wee coach and a Mike coach as well before then, and baseball as well a few times, and coached my older brother in baseball and younger brother in baseball and hockey too.
We were raised, if you're not involved, you can't make comments or negative comments about it. I started early in the morning. I was done at 2, so I could get to most activities. I think I coached well over 50 teams, and that wasn't head coach. Football, cone, holding blocking dummies for some teams. Hockey a couple times, just a cone, standing on the ice.
His biggest message every day is just enjoy it, have fun. It was never any extra pressure put on me to perform at any kind of level. It was show up, be a good teammate, and enjoy it, because it's a special time in your life to be a kid and be able to play those sports.
He wasn't out there, scolding any of the kids. So always constructive criticism.
Gotta have fun. I'm not going to play if they're not having fun.
There were a lot of lessons of adversity and not making the A team. My first year squirt, my dad being the coach, and saying that this is going to be a good thing for you, and got to play a lot and just develop my game there. And at the time, you're a young kid, you want to play on the best team and represent your team and your community. But it didn't work out. But it was a great lesson of adversity, and continuing to improve and get better and come back better the next year. I wasn't the competitive one. I don't think I ever told a kid he did a bad play. I'd say, you did something? Okay, next time try it like this. So your way was okay, but this way might be better, or if you try this, you'll find out it works better. Kids, if they score or you get beat on a play, you never have to criticize them. Those are big values of being a good teammate, supporting one another, doing what you can to help the team win. It just was natural for us, get there and be involved. Myself now as a father with kids, you want to have those moments too and coach your kids and help develop them and shape them.
Ryan, way to go! Nice scoop, Ryan!
This is how all this stuff started.
Yeah.
That's his grandpa, my dad, Bill Walsh. So
yeah,
that's where it started. I still remember when he said, "You're going to Cretin." I'm like, wait a second, all boys Catholic military? No, I'm not going there.
My father went to Cretin and graduated in 1957. And again, at that time it was Cretin, not Cretin-Derham Hall. It was an all-boys school. That gave the opportunity for my brothers to go. Amongst my siblings, we were the first ones to have children. So our boys were given that opportunity to choose if they wanted to go to Cretin or stay locally with their friends. So it's a huge decision.
The three of them were the ones that first started the family tradition of coming to school here, and then when Colin and I and my two other cousins got to that age, we were fortunately blessed with the opportunity to decide if we wanted to come here, and didn't really know anybody beforehand as far as friends or connections, but we knew of our uncles and grandpa, so that meant a lot to us to keep the family tradition going. So it was a great decision in the long run.
And you got your buddies now that you go play golf with every year, right? So.
We're at Cretin-Derham Hall High School, where I attended my 4 years of school, and I'm with my Uncle Steve Walsh, who graduated from Cretin back in '85, and is now the current football head coach. This is a very special place for our family. Him and his younger brother and his dad, my grandpa, started the tradition here back when in Cretin, and it's great for us, my older brother and two cousins, to continue on the tradition for family, and we hope to do the same as well in the future.
I came here really probably for the academic side of it, and my dad was a really good athlete, but he felt like this was going to give me an opportunity to kind of live up to my potential, and then when I was fortunate to play through the NFL and obviously with the Bucks for a little bit there, but I had an opportunity to send his brother and a couple of his nieces, or my nieces, his cousins, and then Ryan kind of jumped in along for the ride, and he had an incredible high school career.
I wanted to keep that family tradition going, and it's known as a sports high school to a degree, but also a great education and a great community where you have a little bit lower number of students in a class, so everybody can get to know each other, and the teachers and support staff really work closely with you, coaches there, so it's just a great place to continue to develop and grow as an adult.
It was cool that you'd see the hallways. I'd see a picture of my dad, class of '57. You're seeing my brothers, in their class pictures, and just the history involved in, Cretin.
Tough to kind of put it into words how the community just kind of sticks together and everybody kind of knows everybody, and it's a brotherhood, and it's a great place to always come back to and stay close to.
So this is just some of the Hall of Fame teams that we've had, and so my dad's right there, Grandpa Bill. So they had quite the run of hockey championships, through that time.
Right there, Grandpa.
Couple notches below Joe Mauer right there, just a recent Hall of Fame guy right there, right? So.
There's Steve right there with the Hurricanes, and then the Cowboys. It's cool, like I said, when you first step into school here as a freshman, you see all this great alumni, and then you have the great support staff of coaches and teachers that just provide you with the opportunity. These guys have taken that opportunity and ran with it before you, and now it's up to you. If you want it, it's there for the taking. And so have you not had this tradition and this opportunity, I certainly wouldn't be where I'm at today with all the fortunate success that I've had. So it's just kind of sets a great standard, and the resources are there. And
definitely the pride was there.
So my children are 4 years, 5 years, 6 years younger. So we'd come back for Christmas, or maybe it was after the season, we'd celebrate kind of Christmas in January. And they would play this game called Pretty Pretty Princess. And so the idea with the game was you had to try to win the crown. And it was a little board game. But him and then his older brother would always steal the crown, and then my daughters would come up crying, "Ryan stole the crown!" And but there was a few moments where Ryan was the one that was crying on the couch a few times too. But all right, 07.
Oh, nice. Little band music rolling.
Yeah, where's Kales?
Yeah. Keen's cake. Right here's Kaylee.
There's Kale's. And then Ryan's down here.
Right here.
So you got that smirky smile of yours.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That's Colin.
There's his brother. It was Caitlin in your class?
Caitlin was mine, yeah.
Okay.
There's Colin.
Yeah.
Here's Kaylee's third place trophy.
What's that? Her
Kaylee's in
third
this
place?
one. Yeah.
Okay.
She got third in state.
Is that
Her
her
dad
on the right?
upper right.
Oh,
the second
above her.
one in, yeah. And her dad coached that team. She was a grade below me, so we didn't have any classes together or anything. So we'd have to just kind of cross paths in the hall quick. And then she was playing hockey, so we were racing up to the high school rink for practice and whatnot. And yeah, it's a long time ago, but a great time for sure. Well, Steve was such an unbelievable role model, whether he knew it or not, for me. He was so great for my brother and cousins and I when you were playing in the league, and you'd always take the time to try to get us down to the field. And whether you played in Minnesota, we drove over to Green Bay, got to go on Lambeau Field. You got us tickets there, which are, not easy to come by with those Packer fans.
You get to go beyond the gate or go through the gate, and when you're Colin and Ryan were 8 and 9 or even maybe younger, and Steve was playing scrimmage against, and Joe Montana was the other quarterback. And everybody's around him, and Joe and Steve start talking, and he grabs the boys and they get to meet him, and then it's the next one and the next one.
Just being able to go on the field and see the pro players up close and see the size, the speed, and the preparation for him. And it's fun to just be able to have a phone call with him even during the season and him check in and talk about what it's like playing in the NFL and how much preparation time he is working and how much practice time he has. It was just, kind of mind-blowing to hear all the sacrifice that he makes just to, try to play the game that he loves. And it's definitely something that's stuck with me here today is how much sacrifice you have to make.
So it's those things in your life that you see it and you can dream it, but you can also see that it's a reality. And I remember having you and your brother down on the Metrodome playing the Vikings, and finally they're like, hey, this kid's got to get out of here. I'm like, okay, warming up and everything. So
yeah, there'd be some tough times where you have some phone calls where he'd kind of help turn things into a positive for me, and didn't make a team for Will Jr. my first year. It was kind of a down moment in my career, and was able to kind of help me through that and realize that you got to use those things as motivation and keep moving forward, keep trusting your abilities, and always stay confident in yourself.
Well, you're a good one to help. Incredibly humble, and I think that's a product of probably obviously mom and dad, my sister, but our family as well. And I think that comes from your grandpa, my dad, and just handling it and working for everything and understand that work ethic can pay dividends.
Great having you as a resource, still is, to bounce some things off about playing pro and dealing with the ups and downs, because it's not easy all the time. It's not always glory. There's some down moments where you need some help and great support. And very fortunate for me to have you in my life and continue to be a support for me. Everybody's like, oh, you must be a diehard Vikings fan. I'm like, no, I was a diehard Steve Walsh's team fan,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, here's all the trophies. Maybe. Yeah, there it is. Nice.
There you go. There's your state.
There's the state championship trophy. Yeah, you don't always see the head coach get in the front row, but Coach Jimmy O was so excited he came right down in the front. Yeah.
This week, the top hockey teams in the state have traveled to St. Paul for one of the greatest shows on ice. 8 teams started the tournament. Now we're down to 2. It's time for the 2A state championship. Cretin-Derham Hall and Grand Rapids.
It was unbelievable. I mean, like I said, you grew up watching the state high school tournament, and remember getting out of school to go watch it in 7th, 8th grade. And
you got to be a Minnesotan to understand that. You guys see the XL when it's the Wild? Well, the Wild fill it up. High school hockey championship game fills it up. And it's crazy. I mean, it's been in Sports Illustrated, be on ESPN. And then to have two win it, then win it together was still special.
The highlight by far, my senior year of high school and Ryan's junior year, we were fortunate enough to win the Minnesota State High School Hockey Tournament.
Got all the pieces together and made a great run, and before we knew it, we were, seated pretty high for the tournament, and just kept playing our way and finding ways to win. And when it actually came down to the championship game and we knew we were going to win, it was thrilling. It was a great memory, and obviously fun to be able to do it with my older brother on the team too, and a handful of my closest buddies I still talk with today. So I've had a new coach, not a new coach in a sense, but came back. It was an old hockey coach, Jim O'Neill, had coached for a long time, took a little break, and then came back and took the head coaching job back again. We got a transfer in, a great player, Drew Darwitz, transferred to our school, another defenseman that's still a close friend of mine. And just hit it right timing-wise with a great group of seniors, great group of juniors, an older-ish team, and like I said, just great leaders and guys that, like I said, cared for one another, been around each other, grew up together, and just kind of went about the season, winning a lot of games, just kind of doing our thing, and didn't really think anything of it. We are at Highland Arena, the home of the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders, and with my high school hockey coach, Jim O'Neill, and my high school teammate and close friend, Drew Darwitz. Coach O'Neill helped coach us to the school's first state championship team in '06, and Drew and I were on that team, fortunately, and we've been best friends ever since. He transferred to Cretin his junior year and brought in the title, and he came back to coach my junior year, and these two are the X factors that got us our dream of winning a high school state championship together.
He had something to do with it too.
Yeah. I wouldn't say I brought it in, but.
We did not have the locker room, that whole end over there, when we were at school. That's a newer addition in the last, I don't know.
Yeah, that was done about 7-8 years ago, and primarily because of Ryan and Kaylee, their generous contribution to Cretin-Derham Hall program, the hockey program, has really swelled their program immensely. Been to the state tournament 3 years in a row now, and kids are flocking here, and he's a big reason for it. And Drew actually did some coaching here after he got done playing. A lot of history amongst these guys, and good cornerstone for the program, which is doing very, very well right now.
It is fun because I know everybody follows the tournament when it's tournament time, and we're all over the country, different areas, but we're all texting, watching, streaming the game, following the team. It's, like I said, one of those great Minnesota traditions. Every March, the state tournament rolls around, and you hope your school's in it and cheer for them.
Ryan, he had just a phenomenal skating skills. The best I've seen. I coached for 39 years, and he was the best skater I've seen by far. And a few years back, they recognized the top 5 position players in Minnesota in history, and he was one of them at defense, which is really saying something. When you think about all the players that have come from the state of Minnesota, he was recognized as one of the top 5.
They said it in the broadcast all the time during the state tournament. Lou Nanny, he was a man amongst boys. His skating, his first 3 strides were just comparable to my 10. He was gone. His speed, his strength, his size. I mean, if you look at him now, it wasn't much different when he wasn't. Oh, I swear, we joke about it all the time. Like his build, his physique, his athleticism. It was pretty crazy to see someone at our age be the level he was at.
I remember a story. I was in my office at school one day, and one of the teachers, they brought in seniors to talk to the freshmen, and he came running down to my office. He says, "You can't believe what Ryan McDonagh just told my kids." I said, "What?" I was a little, what'd he say? And he said one of the kids asked him what his goal was, and he said he wanted to be a professional hockey player. And a lot of kids say those types of things, but it's what he said next. He said, "And the only reason I'm not going to be there is if I'm not good enough." He said, "Nothing else is going to get in my way." And to hear that from a 17-year-old, it's a pretty profound statement. A lot of kids get in their own way as far as development and how good they can become. And obviously, Ryan stuck to that. Nothing got in his way. It was always full steam ahead. And his ability took over, but really what's been there constantly, I think, his maturity, his confidence, and just the way he handles himself. Every locker room he's been in, he's been way up there as far as who the type of personality is.
Oh, you haven't seen the wall here?
No, I haven't seen
God.
any of this.
That's pretty
That's
cool.
Good timing,
I
yeah.
haven't seen it live yet, but I've seen pictures of it. This is
I
unbelievable.
think Steve sent me a picture, yeah.
Those are baby faces right there.
We gotta get that back to the Tampa pick.
Yeah.
That's all right.
There's one of 2 Olympians.
Yeah, Bob
Kids are so lucky to have this.
Oh,
you think
I know.
about what we put up with all those years up there. I mean, you never
Jeez,
thought
I
twice
know.
about it.
Kids are kids still, eh? Punks just shooting pucks at us.
For so many years, we really didn't have a locker room per se. And we used one of the public ones, and there's a hallway out there that the public would walk through that we would change out there. And the guys would have to bring their equipment either home in their trunk in the middle of winter, which isn't great, or we had a little cage underneath the bleachers, which was also very cold. With Ryan and Kaylee's help, we were able to push forward on this project and came to fruition, and rivals pretty much any college facility that I've been in, and certainly in Minnesota, any high school one.
These guys can attest to it. A locker room is a really special place. I mean, being a part of a team and going through adversity together, ups and downs, and the playing hockey aspect, but there's life lessons, values, everything that you learn about yourself and about what's important is through a team, through hanging in a locker room and sticking together through whatever's thrown your way. So to have a special place like Coach talked about to hang out and just continue to develop as a young adult, we felt it was important to, like I said, keep providing opportunities for the future for kids, the sport of hockey. Obviously, we're both very proud of our years at CDH and the success we had is a bond that is together for us. So we want to try to create that same opportunity for the future of the kids at the school, and it's been impressive to see everybody be so thankful for it too, and be grateful for it, because like you said, it's they did a great job building it and getting it right and providing the right space, and it's been fun to see the success come from the program, obviously a little bit, but just the gratitude from people and the kids that get to use it. So it's been special.
What he's accomplished through his career, he wanted to share it with what he came up when experienced in high school. When we played, we went to the state tournament, we borrowed the baseball team's jackets to look more uniform as a team walking in. And the stuff that, he's kind of put in place here, these kids have kind of got to benefit from, which has been great for the program. But again, it goes back to his character, him sharing his career with the generations coming up. And it's been a very, very good thing for this program and this school.
35 seconds to play, Cretin-Derham Hall came into the game with a record of 26-4. Just an impressive record. Again, playing in a tough conference, playing in a tough section. They were the champs of Section 2. And in moments, just 20 seconds, they'll be the state champs in AA.
And we have to really acknowledge again the unbelievable play by Ryan McDonagh and Chris Hickey. They've had an outstanding play from this whole Cretin team, but those two took it up a notch. They were definitely the most dominant players in this tournament at their positions. What a wonderful, wonderful victory for Cretin Hall, only their second time in the state tournament.
I have this picture in my house, actually. It's a picture of the scoreboard. We won 8-0? 7-0. And the shots were 32-8 in our favor. We dominated. And Grand Rapids was a great team, don't get me wrong. They had a couple NHL draft picks on there, or one NHL draft pick. But they were a great team. But the game itself, we just we took the gas pedal, put it down. We never looked back.
It was surreal. Like I said, it's kind of a dream come true when you're growing up in Minnesota to just get a chance to play in the high school hockey tournament. You get to go to the big XL Energy Center, 18,000 people watching a high school hockey game. Like, it's pretty incredible.
For me as a mom, and I've got 2 boys on the ice at that time, it was crazy. Like, I don't think I sat the whole game. And then I think our championship game, we won 7-0.
Yeah.
And I still didn't even believe it until like that final buzzer. I'm like, I'm not saying anything, don't talk to me. I get in my little mom zone,
That happens a lot.
It's funny because it was so calm going into the championship game, where you'd think we would obviously be so nervous, but again, that was the coaching staff, how close the team was. We had a great captain, senior captain, Corvin Keeger, that just, I don't know, knew what to say at the right times to kind of keep us focused, and it was just a clinic game as far as how you want to play and not give anything up and have all the offensive looks that you could dream of, and so it was a great way to cap it off, obviously.
I mean, that was an unforgettable moment. Our high school friends are our closest friends still to this day. They're like family.
It just kind of all snowballed perfectly for us that year. Like I said, we had a great group of seniors and juniors, and with some talented younger guys, and a coach that came back for us and put everything on the line for us, and everything just kind of clicked, and we were able to cap it off in a very special way.
Jim O'Neill, you can breathe a sigh of relief.
He looks shocked, doesn't he?
I never watched it again. It was too perfect, and I don't ever want to. I have it sitting at home. I've never watched it, I'm honest. I've never watched it.
Yeah, when I coached here, we used to still watch
clips of it.
Clips.
I've seen clips.
Like teaching clips from our team during the state tournament.
It was a clinic. It was,
it was.
You want to put together your best game for sure at the right time. That was it. Mm-hmm. And nobody would have beat us that.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Sure. That's definitely up there for one of my favorite hockey memories. Like I said, that's a childhood dream that you think about, and it starts at a young age, skating on the outdoor rinks and ponds in Minnesota. And like I said, you get to do it with your high school friends, my older brother on the team. You can't really write it any better for me.
And this kid, Ryan McDonagh, was just fabulous all tournament long.
I mean, we saw it in the state tournament from that guy right there. He just does it all.
He does it all is right. He's the whole package.
He did rise. I mean, rare that I'll brag about that kid, but he was a man amongst boys during that game. But he was surrounded by great team. Coach O, Rancone, and Charlie Bosco.
They're all close. All those boys are pretty close, and they still are today. That's what's crazy, and that's what's cool all together.
Next time our player of the game, Ryan McDonagh, the big defenseman, and you've had a chance to celebrate with your team. Has that sunk in yet?
No, it really hasn't. I don't know it's probably going to be tomorrow morning when I feel it. I haven't really raised the trophy yet. That's going to be something I'm going to do here in a bit, but hasn't really quite hit me yet.
We'll talk about this season. When your coach talked to me earlier tonight, he said that this is really a Cinderella story. You guys didn't even expect to be here.
Well, in our minds, we always thought we've been a good team. We always got defensive. We're a defensive team, and that's what we think. Defense wins championships, so if we play good defense, it gives us a chance every game. So
sum up your tournament experience.
Oh, it's just a blast. We've just been working hard, and hard work pays off for any team. That's all it is.
And we'll see you next year at Cretin, and then next year in the WCHA at the University of Wisconsin, right?
Hopefully, yep.
The hardest choices for Ryan was, I don't know if the sign's still up at Highland, if you found it there yesterday, about Ryan decided to stay, and that was huge. That was huge for the family. Huge for Quinn and Colin.
Transform that into a Bolts uniform, but there's some good writing on there. Well, a lot of the high school coaches use players like Ryan that have stayed in high school, because so many get offers to leave for juniors or leave for the development team, and he had to make a hard decision, because he was offered a spot on a very, very good team. And we had just won the state championship, and it's like, what else is there,
The USHL Junior League had just been kind of started up, and then the National Development Team USA there in Ann Arbor, Michigan, it had been going on for a handful of years, and had options to go my junior year to play Junior League and leave my senior year, go play in the Ann Arbor for Team USA. So it was definitely a difficult decision, because it's such a highly regarded program, and some of the best players in the world are going to play there.
We were torn. I mean, you don't know, is that a better choice? Is that a better place to have him develop? I mean, we knew that he had a skill. We were told he had a skill. There was enough knowledgeable hockey people said, you know what, he has got something. You know, let's try to develop it more.
He met with the coaches, or we met with
Oh yeah, we had the high school coaches come here.
High school coaches came here.
And had us sit down up at the kitchen table. They were going to pitch to keep Ryan in high school.
We talked to Ryan about, you know, having a home, having a base, you know, your family, your friends, your school. His wife came from here. So, and also, he won a state championship in baseball, which he stayed on for, which I was the coach. Yeah. And thank God he did, because he was a big part of that program.
That was a hard decision. It was hard for us. It was hard for Ryan. Essentially, he made that decision.
All by himself.
All by himself.
Literally,
said,
we didn't say we want
yep.
you to stay. We didn't say that the billet family might not be able to cook like your mother. We didn't, you know, there's not gonna be your little brother to run upstairs. Seriously, he did it all himself, and he came down or came up from downstairs one day and said, I'm staying at Cretin. And it was like, we're like, whew, thank God, you know?
But in the end, I felt like just being able to spend one more year at home, play one more year with my friends, graduate from my high school and have those relationships, that network long term. I was still able to play one more year of baseball my senior year and enjoy that one last time. And just kind of keep developing at home and keep growing up a little bit was going to help me in the long run, rather than just try to focus on hockey that year. So, like I said, obviously I've been very happy with how everything worked out. I was able to, you know, go right into college after graduating senior year. So it's been obviously a good decision in the long run for me.
The high school coaches use people like Ryan to convince the younger kids you can stay here and still be very successful.
My theory was because of Quinn. I'm serious. I used to say he just stayed because of Quinn. I don't know if he was dating Kales at the time, but I honestly think his, and he had a great relationship with Colin, but it was his little buddy, and they did everything together.
Having my two brothers, they're, you know, hugely influential in my life, and you know, have helped shape me into the guy I am today. And you know, seeing them with their kids and their families is a big driver for me, and watching them interact, and you know, it's something special to have that to look up to, and you know, being able to lean on them with high school experience and college experience and all the different kind of craziness you go through in life, and having them there has been really special.
When's the last time all five of us, Quinny came up with this, when's the last all five of us ate together without a girlfriend, a wife, or grandkids?
No, I know, it's probably been.
I said Wisconsin or Ottawa.
Yeah, I don't know. 15 years
probably. Probably all 15.
So thanks for doing this.
Yeah.
This is huge. We needed it. It's been well overdue. Very overdue.
It has been a while, and obviously people are busy. My brother's expecting his fourth kid, or has his fourth kid now. And my little brother's growing up so fast. So yeah, we're all different parts of the world and at different parts in our lives, and it's, like I said, a great place that we know we're going to be able to meet, catch up, enjoy a great meal, and see a lot of friends and family.
And also beyond high school, when you played in the pros, we'd come here, like, you know, when you were playing the Wild, the Minnesota Wild, we'd all come here, the family and friends would all gather here, and then they have a bus that runs down to the XL Energy.
That's right, yeah.
So we'd meet here ahead of time and have a little pre-party, and then head off to the XL.
We're actually known to bring some staff members with us that might have gotten in trouble once or twice coming down here and then going back too. So yeah, it's a great family thing. For me is Colin and Ryan were at the Cretin High School, right up Cretin-Derham Hall, right up the road, and we'd say, hey, we're at Shamrocks, come on down, and it would be 3 or 4 of us, but the table would actually grow to 12 to 15. All the guys they were with would come down. We call them affectionately the Cretin boys, and they would all come down and take 2 long tables and have a great evening of laughter. So it was a great place.
Until the bill came.
Till the bill came. Silent quiet.
I like the Big Nookie burger. It's like a giant homemade version of a Big Mac with 2 patties and special sauce on it. try not to eat as many nowadays while I'm playing, but it's hard not to pass up on it when I'm there. It's so good.
If you eat 2 of them, you get the T-shirt. The Nookie Challenge.
The Nookie Challenge.
Make the wall.
What do you
Well, I
want
think
it?
they're known too for Juicy Lucy.
Yep.
I mean, you don't come to St. Paul
Minnesota,
in
you
Minnesota.
got to get the Juicy Lucy, and this is one of the famous spots for it.
Stuffed hamburger. Hamburger stuffed with cheese.
Yeah.
All right, Canada has poutine. We have the Juicy Lucy.
Yeah.
Famous Minnesota thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, this is a spot has kind of always been like our cheers, so to speak. You know, it's a spot you can walk into and you're bound to see somebody that you know, whether you went to high school with them or played against them at some point down the road from a different school. It's just always good. Yeah, parents and kids, whatever the case may be. It's always been just good atmosphere, and they always take care of you really well. So.
Yeah, these guys are only a year apart, and then we had a 10-year break, so then he came along 10 years later. So once he was able to get out there and, you know, put on the rollerblades, they'd put him in the net, and then eventually he became a goalie.
It all worked out.
Yeah. Put a couple pillows on his belly, and
I can probably honestly say, Quinn, I didn't let you win a lot of knee hockey games growing up, but you definitely helped fuel the competitive spirit of me today. And yeah, it was obviously great memories looking back on it, and it helps all of us shape the kind of person that you are today. And you know, Colin and I, obviously we're fathers now. We've got young kids, and we try to get them outside playing and share those same kind of values of, you know, having your brother, your sister's back, and just playing and just being creative, using your imagination and playing. And I think that's a big thing today is trying to get them outside and let their imagination take over and play and develop their own dreams that way.
Smile and don't ruin a good thing. That was always the one that stuck in my head. Don't ruin a good thing.
Yeah.
I'd teach that to my kids too, and I'm sure Ryan does the same, and I'm sure Quinn, when you get there, you'll do the same thing. I don't know. It's a very general term, but it covers a lot of things if you think about it, applying it to day-to-day activities and interactions with people.
The biggest thing, they kind of trusted us, you know, when you go over to a friend's house after a game or on the weekends, but they would always just say, just check in, you know, and I think that kind of went a long way with me. Is, you know, things are going to happen. You're going to bounce from one house to the next, and you know, like I said, cell phones were kind of just getting going there, and you just said, you know, like they would trust us, and you know, we were kind of always together a lot too, so that was probably a trust factor for them. But as long as we kind of checked in and made sure we kept them in the loop of who we were with, what we were doing, that kind of thing, they trusted us, and I kind of think it helped for sure us mature quicker beyond our years and grow up a little bit. And it was all kind of the part of the process. And at the time, you didn't probably realize how much sacrifice and work they had to do to help us have a great, 4 years of high school, which are some of the most important, fun years of your life. But they just were willing to put in that work, willing to put in that, you know, phone call at 9:30, 10 o'clock, come drive, pick you up, and it definitely speaks volumes today as now a parent and realizing how much effort it takes to raise your kids, look after your kids, and you obviously want what's best for them, for your kids, and we've definitely had that opportunity from them during those years.
I was a senior, he was a junior. We won the high school hockey tournament here, and looking back, well, we went to our coach Jim O'Neill's house after he bought us pizza, and we watched the highlight of the game, and just to hearing him getting brought up quite a bit, it was kind of like oh man, he actually might go somewhere with this, you know. That was, at least for me, that was kind of the turning point, because I mean, like I said, you were all around a good athlete, but yeah, hearing your name come up quite a few times during that tournament, it was like, yeah, something's gonna happen here.
Cretin's been something to watch.
McDonagh scores! Holy cow! From the circle, just a blistering slap shot to make it 7-rip.
Unbelievable play by Ryan McDonagh and Chris Hickey. They've had an outstanding play from this whole Cretin team, but those two took it up a notch. They were definitely the most dominant players in this tournament.
Mike Antonovich, famous Minnesota and a head scout for the Blues at that time. He's in the car and he's showing you all these papers and telling you all these numbers, where your kid's at, and it's like, nah, yeah, he's going number 5, he's going number 8, yeah, he won't get past 8, and you're sitting there, no, and we're sitting at Columbus Arena, and we're sitting there, the family, and the Cretin boys were with us, 4 or 5 of them, and we're all in a row, and that's when they call it, and it was kind of like a reach on. I said, well, it's going to happen. I really didn't believe it. There's so much that people don't understand, and not that I understand all the challenges, what if it takes to be there, and then when you see guys staying there, it's really more unbelievable, So I would have to say the draft for me, quite honestly, even after everybody telling us stuff, and yeah, we used to read a lot of blogs and a lot of articles and stuff like that, but for me it was the draft.
All of those things kind of all add up to, wow, he really does have something. Then you're sitting in a pro stadium and you see people with jerseys with your name on it. We're like, wow. Yeah. You've got kids, millions of kids that play hockey and want to be the best and want to be a pro, and the small percentage that make it is unbelievable. And you see our name on the back of a jersey, and you're like, really? Does that really happen?
My brother's playing on the same team, and he's got he's on the same team.
Have you scored any goals yet, Ryan?
Yeah, 3.
3?
And Colin scored 5 in 1 game.
Huh.
It's been really fun to have someone to cheer for. And, obviously winning the cup back-to-back years is incredible. And going to Tampa and celebrating doing the Riverboat Cup Parade was something I'll never forget in my life. But, it's great for my kids to have somebody to look up to. And, they think it's pretty special when they're wearing Uncle Rye's hockey jersey and watching the game on TV, or if we're fortunate enough to make it down to a game, or when they play up here against the Wild, we all go. And so it's great for them, and it's fun to see the excitement on their face, knowing that their Uncle Rye is out there doing what he can to win.
So incredible. It's really hard to honestly describe, because he's my brother. We used to play Guitar Hero in the basement, and playing video games and playing knee hockey and playing out in the street. Like, it's crazy to see what has become of all that, and just the hard work and the passion that he has for it is something that you don't see very often, and it's very special to get to see him out on the ice and him performing in that way. But then the behind the scenes stuff, about who he really is what really matters and brings me the most pride, at least.
It's everything. My wife, my kids, the first thing I think about every morning or after a game, tough loss, definitely put things in perspective. And now as the kids are getting older, they're starting to acknowledge what goes on every day for me, and how much I put into playing hockey, and how much I try to spend time with them when I have the opportunity. Everything I do in this life is to provide them with the same opportunity I had as a kid, the same thing that my parents did for me. So love them to death, and appreciate everything that my wife does for me too, to allow me to play this game for so long. There's just so many things that a family does for you, and the support staff that you need in this game, in this day and age, is huge, and they're the best at it.
I'm just really proud of the way he behaves with it all. He never quits when it comes to sports, taking care of his family, and his immediate family, and the whole family in general. It's just unbelievable. Everybody says it's unbelievable. I say it's a fantasy. It's every dad's dream to say, my kid plays.
It's awesome. We're so proud of Ryan and what he's accomplished. 11 years ago, we said, wouldn't that be awesome to have the Stanley Cup come visit Arden Hills? Wouldn't it be awesome to have our grandkids sharing all of this excitement? It's no longer a dream, it happened.
My parents came from Ireland, her grandparents came from one from Poland and one from Ireland, I believe it was, to see the accomplishment of where he's at, Colin's at, Quinn's at. Meant so much to my dad and my mom. Sorry, it's so special to see it, to be part of it. I mean, we say sports isn't a big thing, but in America it's a huge. The Olympics are on now again. I mean, how many millions of people are watching stuff like that, and your son or daughter gets called to be on that team with the USA on the front and your name on the back. Excuse me, can't be better.
I think I've learned that I have just an unbelievable support cast. I think of my parents, my brothers, my wife and kids today, my uncle, my other family members, grandparents. It just seems like, everybody that I talk to and have leaned on over the years has really helped me become the person that I am today and have all the success that I've had. It's no doubt been a blessing. I know I'm very fortunate and very thankful for the opportunity to be able to do something that I love here today and play hockey and have a family with 3 kids and provide for them. Like I said, I don't try to take anything for granted, especially as you get older in this game, in this life. You want to try to enjoy every day and, like I said, provide the same opportunity for your kids. And like I said, I think I've just realized how lucky I am to have such a great support cast from mom and dad, brothers, and everybody throughout. So very, very fortunate.
That they're in 1 year.
Engine 631, 883 Lovell Avenue West. Wire problem. Cross Street, Victoria Street North, and
This is a call right here. This is these are
59A on Fire Ops 5. Time.
Dance Revolution. They hooked up 2 or 3 pads. It'd be Ryan, Joe Bonfey, 6'4" Joe Bonfey, and Ryan and another guy would be dancing for hours competing. And I'm not kidding you, just sweat and stuff like that. The competition of playing, having fun again of Dance Revolution. Boy, I wish I had video of that. I could make money on that one, embarrassing all of them, their moves.
Successful throughout his career.
You guys got
to
for a minute. You guys want to try it? We got to try it.
I got to try it?
Yeah, and a bunch of napkins
Legs?
too, please.
Green
Just green beans.
Deep fried green beans.
Thank you.
A little plum sauce.
Now, I know Mikey had cheese curds with us last time. These are cheese curds. All right.
All right, I'll try leg.
All right, thank you. Yep.
Not a frog leg. It's not a frog.
Not a frog leg.
A little plum sauce, maybe? A little sauce.
I need sauce?
Yeah, a little plum sauce.
Which one, the white?
The red.
Red.
I like the plum sauce.
Hey, that's the plum, yeah.
A little sweet.
Mike, you're not eating them this time?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah. They're really good.
Not bad.
Really good.
You wouldn't know they were green beans, right?
Yeah, that's good.